All right, let's jump right in. Welcome to a super fast revision of Core Agriculture, designed specifically to get you prepped for your NABARD Grade A exam. We're going to hit the most essential topics to make sure your knowledge is sharp. Ready? Let's do this.
So here's how we're going to tackle this. We've got 4 key sections. We'll start with the big picture, the foundation of Indian agriculture. Then we'll get our boots on the ground with crop production. After that, we'll dig into soil science, and finally, we'll look ahead to what's next in farming. It's a clear roadmap for your revision.
First up, let's talk foundations. Before we get into the what and the how, we really need to understand the why. Why is agriculture so incredibly important to India? This is the core of everything NABARD does. Let's start at the very beginning. The word itself, agriculture, comes from 2 Latin words, ager, meaning field, and cultura, meaning cultivation. Simple enough, right? But it's so much more than just planting crops. It's the whole system, the science and the art of raising plants and animals to keep us all going.
This table, it's basically the whole story in one snapshot. Agriculture is the absolute bedrock of the Indian economy. It's not just a big chunk of our GDP, it's also the single largest employer, the reason we have national food security, a massive driver for rural demand, and one of the most powerful tools we have to fight poverty.
Now, if there's one number I want you to burn into your memory from this section, it's this one, 45%. Think about that. Almost half of India's entire workforce depends on agriculture for their livelihood. That single statistic just screams how vital this sector is, socially and economically. So if agriculture is so important, what are the problems? Well, this is where NABARD comes in. You've got these huge core challenges, low productivity, farmers being incredibly vulnerable to climate change, and this massive gap in credit that leads to debt. These are the very problems you'll be working to solve. This is the why behind your exam.
Okay, we've seen the 30,000-foot view. Now, let's get our boots on the ground and move down to the field level. We're going to look at the absolute essentials of how crops are actually produced. Now, this is a super high-yield topic for your exam, so listen up. In India, everything revolves around the monsoon. You have the Kharif season, which is all about the big southwest monsoon. Then you have the Rabi or winter season, which gets its moisture from what we call western disturbances, basically weather systems rolling in from the Mediterranean. And squeezed in between is the short Zaid summer season, perfect for fast-growing crops.
Inside each of those seasons, farmers pretty much follow the same logical cycle. It all starts with tillage, which is just preparing the soil for planting. Then comes sowing, getting the seeds in the ground. After that, manuring to feed the plants. And finally, weeding to make sure the crops get all the resources. It's a fundamental sequence, season after season.
Given how water-stressed India is, micro-irrigation is a massive deal. On one hand, you have drip irrigation, which is incredibly efficient because it delivers water right to the roots. On the other, you have sprinklers, which are great for hilly or uneven land. The goal for both is to dramatically improve water use efficiency, or WU. That's the whole idea behind the per drop more crop slogan from the PMFBY scheme.
All right, time to dig a little deeper, literally. Section 3 is all about soil, and let me tell you, you can have the best seeds in the world, perfect weather, but if your soil is no good, you've got nothing. It is the absolute foundation of everything in agriculture.
Okay, time for a quick pop quiz, and this is a concept that's directly tied to government policy, so it's a good one to know for your exam. What are the 4 R's of using fertilizer efficiently? I'll give you a second to think about it. And there you have it. Right source, right rate, right time, and right place. This isn't just a catchy phrase. It represents a huge shift towards a more scientific, smarter way of farming. In fact, this is the core principle behind the entire soil health card scheme.
Here's a quick tour of India's major soil types. You've got the alluvial soils in the northern plains. That's our breadbasket. Then there's black soil, or regur, in the Deccan, which is perfect for cotton because it holds moisture so well. Red soils get their color from iron, and laterite soils, found in areas with heavy rainfall, are great for plantation crops like tea and coffee.
Okay, pay close attention here because these two get confused all the time. The absolute key to telling them apart is the pH. Saline soils have a pH below 8.5, and you fix them by leaching, which is just flushing them with good quality water. Sodic soils have a pH above 8.5 because of too much sodium, and the fix for that is adding gypsum. Got it?
All right, on to our final section. This is all about the future, making our agriculture ready for the challenges ahead. As a future NABARD officer, these ideas of sustainability and resilience are exactly what you'll be working with day in and day out. A huge concept here is climate-smart agriculture, or CSA. The best way to think about it is as a triple win. The goal is to do 3 things at once. 1, sustainably boost farm productivity and income. 2, help farmers adapt to climate change. And 3, reduce greenhouse gas emissions wherever possible.
Now, a closely related idea is conservation agriculture, which is all about soil health. It's built on 3 simple but really powerful principles. First, disturb the soil as little as possible, so no-till farming. Second, always keep the soil covered, usually with leftover crop residue. And third, rotate your crops to keep the soil fertile and healthy.
So how does the government actually put these ideas into action? Well, through these flagship schemes. You have the NSMSA, which is the big umbrella mission for sustainability. You've got PMKSY for water efficiency. PMFBY acts as a safety net through crop insurance. And PMKUSUM is all about bringing in solar power for energy and water security.
So let's end with this thought. We've talked about the science, the practices, and the policies. The real challenge and the real opportunity is bringing all of it together. How do we create that perfect synergy between technology, policy, and on-the-ground practices to build an agricultural future for India that's not just productive, but also resilient and profitable? That really is the central question. All the very best for your exam.